Hello, everyone, and welcome back. I know I should have jumped on here and informed you about Princess Beatrice's baby girl. I should have made a nice meme to congratulate Beatrice and Edo, but quite frankly, I needed a day or two away from the royals and do and think about something else. Along with many of you, I'm sure, I've been following the search for Gabby Petito, jumping from one channel to another, searching Instagram and Twitter for clues, and so on. Unfortunately, the poor girl was found deceased close to where her van was last seen. The coroner yesterday confirmed that the DNA tests proved that it was indeed her body, and he ruled it a homicide. The complete cause of death will likely be known in a few days, although I have seen a tweet a couple of minutes ago saying that the cause of death will be available sooner than we expected. My heart indeed bleeds for her parents, who did everything they could to find her. No words of condolence could possibly make the hurt and sadness better. And now I just hope that her coward of a boyfriend will be caught soon so that we can hear his side of the story and that he can be brought to justice if he did anything to cause the death of this pretty, petite young lady. I don't know whether it will help any, but I am putting his cowardly mug on the screen. If any of my US subscribers should spot him, please contact your nearest police station. Also, extremely upsetting this week were the news reports of the three Dickerson children who were murdered by their South African mother, a doctor in New Zealand. Lauren Dickerson has now been charged with the murders of her twin daughters, Maya and Carla, aged 2, and their older sister, Leanne, aged 6. The children were found dead in their Tamaroo home in New Zealand on Thursday by their father, Graham Dickerson, an orthopedic surgeon from Pretoria. The Dickersons immigrated to New Zealand and arrived in late August. They had basically just come out of quarantine, and Dr. Graham Dickerson had just started working. It has just been released that all three of the little girls were strangled with cable ties. Absolutely horrific. Lauren Dickerson appeared in court briefly before being referred to a hospital for mental evaluation. Now, I know as a South African, you would perhaps want me to say more about this, perhaps tell you what our local media has to say. But I read some of our local stories, and I'm afraid that you do not want to hear what I have to say. And I think that while the father and extended family are in mourning, it is best that I keep my mouth shut. I shall, however, keep following the news and perhaps do a video on it on my other channel after her next court appearance on October the 5th. So, with all this tragedy and heartbreak in the news, let us move on to what is happening with the royals. Well, Princess Beatrice's baby has not even seen daylight yet, and already the headlines are more concerned with titles than whether the mother and baby is healthy and thriving. Beatrice and Ida's baby will be entitled to a title, but not a British one, but an Italian one. Ida's father is Count Alessandro Mapello Mosti. Ida is his one and only male descendant, and therefore will inherit the title. Beatrice will thus automatically become an Italian countess as well as a princess of the United Kingdom, and their children will thus be counts or noblewomen. So there you go, Miss Megabot Markle. Seems like once again you chased after the wrong guy. Nobility is sometimes a risky venture, and perhaps she should have chosen someone with a job. Ido is a very successful and well-to-do real estate entrepreneur in his own right, and then the package comes with good looks and a title. Wow! Good for you, Beatrice. You made a good choice. And now I thank God for Catherine, the Duchess of Cambridge, as seeing the beautiful and fun photographs of her visiting the RAF Air Cadets and the Windermere children, the Holocaust survivors and their descendants, gave me a little hope for the future, as well as for the future of the monarchy. Catherine is such a naturally fit, naturally friendly, naturally kind, naturally beautiful woman that it is a joy to watch her interact with people. Having said that, I got a few comments on my photos of James Middleton's wedding saying that they are not interested in the brother of Duchess Catherine but just want to hear about the royals. Well, that may be your choice, but I get more joy from watching the Middleton children turning into happy, healthy, well-balanced individuals than I do from watching the self-indulgent, spoiled, lying, grifting Montecito royals. The Middletons, in my opinion, are the breath of fresh air the royals need. Always well dressed, always well behaved, responsible, natural, and most importantly, normal. What more can anyone ask for? Some of you may not feel this way watching the videos people like myself, Yankee Murky, and others put out for you. But for us, spending hours dealing with all the negativity and moral decline among people we once looked up to, it really feels like breathing in some pure oxygen when we see Catherine smiling and engaging with the public, her sister Pippa just being a normal mommy in a hurry, or James beaming with happiness, marrying the love of his life. So give us a moment to just have some joy. I also read that Prince William will not let Prince George be packed off to boarding school. A royal commentator said that even before George was born, William decided not to send George to boarding school. Although Eton was not a bad experience for William and Harry, it is said that it is William more so than Catherine who is adamant to keep his children close for as long as possible, and that it is their combined wish to be part of their children's school and activities as much as possible. Now, I totally agree with William. Obviously, if there are no other way out but boarding school, then I totally agree with William. Obviously, if there's no other way, boarding school is the thing to do. I went to boarding school and thoroughly enjoyed it. But as an adult, I also realize how it almost distances you from your family. While other kids have their parents yelling out their names next to the sports field, you, as a boarder, is just there doing your thing for your school and team. You get used to it and may not even notice, but as you grow older and your parents grow older, you realize how very little common memories you have. But spending a week or two or three times per year with your family, you actually then realize was just not enough. Hundreds of dinner time stories will never be told. Your bedtime was regulated by a siren or a bell instead of a father or mother's hug. Boarding school does, however, create independent children, children who are well socialized, etc. But in my opinion, the negative will always outweigh the positive, regardless of how good my own experience was. So I say, good for William wanting to raise his children his own way. What is good for the goose is not always good for the goslings. And the world has changed so much that I think we are all better off keeping our children close if we can. Prince Andrew has now officially been served with legal papers notifying of Virginia Roberts Giuffre's lawsuit against him. The summons and complaint paper was sent by email and FedEx to his US lawyers, and Andrew now has 21 days to respond, or he could face default judgment. To judge my opinion with regards to this lawsuit, you can go watch my video on Andrew and Virginia on my backup channel, Bookworm on the Case, which I now share with my daughter, and I'll put a link in the description box. Having said that, it is my opinion that the royals should not see themselves as being above the law, and therefore Andrew should now, and should have ages ago already, cooperate and do everything that is expected of him. I know this is a civil trial and it's about money, but it is also an opportunity for Andrew to speak up and convince us of his innocence if he is as innocent as he says he is. The Queen's motto of "we have to be seen to be believed" should be relevant in this instance as well. The BBC documentary to commemorate Prince Philip, The Royal Family Remembers, will air tonight. So this video will most likely only be posted after it started. But we already know that both Harry and Andrew will appear in the documentary. I do not find this particularly earth-shattering. They were his son and grandson after all. But it saddens me to think that these two men managed to screw up the legacy a great man like Prince Philip left them. Prince Philip may have been a bit of a cad, and he may not have been the perfect human being, but he was loyal, hard-working, and true to himself. He was selfless, giving up his career and life to serve his wife, the Queen, his family, and his adopted country. I'll certainly be watching, but I'm not looking forward to Handbag Harry's face on my screen. One thing I'm sure I will not be watching is the Global Citizen Live this weekend. I'll wait for the highlights on Instagram or Twitter. Thank you very much. The Sussexes will participate in the event, which will be broadcast throughout the world from Central Park. The aim is to promote equal access to the vaccine, and a lot of celebrities will be participating. Celebrities participating will include the likes of Andrea Bocelli, Billie Eilish, Coldplay, Cyndi Lauper, Duran Duran, Ed Sheeran, Elton John, Jennifer Lopez, Kylie Minogue, Ricky Martin, Metallica, and many others. God alone knows what Harry and Meghan's gig will be about. Maybe he'll sing and she'll pole dance. I don't know. All I'm hoping and praying for is that she will meet her next husband there and save the world from seeing her face every other day. Okay, my dear subscribers, friends, colleagues, and family, take good care of yourselves until we meet again on the next video. Bye.